Today I'm going to show you how to use Google Drive. And what Google Drive is it's basically a hard drive that sits out on Google servers. So you can put any file that you want to put up into your Google Drive and then share that file with anybody that you want to share it with as long as they have internet access. So that's what Google Drive is. To be able to use it, I'm going to kind of show you how to get into it, how to activate it. Now I'm sitting in a sample Google account right now. This is not a EOU Google account, so it may look a little bit different, but everything as far as Google Drive is concerned is the same. So first off, you have your Google app links running across the top of the page, and you will see Drive there. If you go ahead and click on Drive, it will invite you to start setting your Drive up, and it will ask you to download Google Drive to your computer. For the scope of this particular tutorial, we're just going to use the web interface, which requires you to log into your Gmail account and then click this drive. So I'm not going to worry about this particular advertisement, and it will go away as soon as I put anything in my drive. So this is the main interface of Google Drive. The important part is over here on the left is your navigation area. It also has a create, and if you hover your mouse over this, you'll see that it's called upload. If you want to create a Google Doc, you can click on Create. So these are the different types of files that you can create in Google. Document for word processing, presentation for giving presentations, spreadsheet, form, and drawings. I'm not going to get into all of these. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea how this works. But if I go ahead and click on Create Folder, I'm going to call this Syllabi. And I'll click on Create. And once I've done that, that changes the view a little bit. Now I still have this advertisement up here where it says meet your drive, and it's trying to get me to download the drive program. I can do that. I don't have to. Actually, I just want to get rid of this, so you can just go up to this X in the upper right corner and dismiss it, and that will get rid of it. If you ever do want to go back and download the program for your computer, you can do that right down here at the bottom of the navigation area. So here we have my Syllabi folder, and that's what it looks like. If I want to create another folder, I can do it either here with the Create button, or there is this also plus folder you can add. I can click on that, do the same thing. Say I want to call this Art 101 for my art class that I'm taking, and I'll go ahead and create a folder just for Art 101. You can kind of see how this structure just kind of lists things out. If you want to change this view, you can. Up here in the upper right, you can change it from a list to a grid view or an icon view, which is probably more familiar if you use Windows. And if you open up any of these, you can click on that folder and end up looking in the contents of this folder. This is called Syllabi. This shows me the path that I'm looking at, or you can also look in the navigation area here to see what is active currently, what folder you're looking in. If I want to put something into my Syllabi folder, there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. The easiest way is just simply navigate to the folder and then click on this upload button. And I'm going to choose Files. So I've located the document that I want to upload in my Finder area. I'm going to go ahead and click on Choose, and that will start the upload process. Uploading any kind of item to your Google Drive will show this upload window. It'll tell you when it's done. I'm going to go ahead and close this upload complete window down, and there's my folder, and it is sitting in, there's my file, and sitting in my Syllabi folder. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this back to list view for now, just because that's what I'm more familiar with. If I want to move, for any reason, if I want to move this sample document, say I want to put it, right now it's sitting in Syllabi, if I want to put it in Art 101 instead, I can do that by dragging it and dropping it in Art 101. So dragging and dropping works nicely. If you want to move it, you can also checkmark something and click on this folder for the Move To options. There are a lot of different ways to get anything done in Google Drive. The simplest way is probably just dragging and dropping. You can also do that with folders too. If I wanted to take this Syllabi and drop it in my Art 101 folder, I could do that as well. So we've gone over uploading files, we've gone over creating folders. Also, what I'd like to go over is creating a Google Doc. So if I'm going to head into Art 101, and let's say I want to write a paper to hand in for my midterm or something along those lines. I've navigated to this Art 101 folder, and if I click Create here, it's going to create this item. within that folder that I'm navigated to. So I click on Create and I click on Document, and this is my midterm paper. To change the name of it, I just clicked on the title up here in the upper left-hand corner, and that changes the name of it. And every change that I make in this document is saved automatically. So your paper is constantly backed up as long as you have an internet connection. I'm going to just go ahead and close this down. I haven't hit any save button or anything like that, but I just hit the close button, and now I'm back to the tab looking at my Art 101, and I can see that there was a midterm paper here that I started. If I open that up again, there I have my paper back, and it's up to date. Everything that I typed into it before is still there. And this has most of the features of a Word document, most of the features that you're going to use. The nice thing about it is if you hand this paper in, if you share this paper, this Google Doc with your instructor, the instructor can add comments by simply highlighting an area, right-clicking, and commenting. So there are a lot of nice features to using Google Docs for your homework, as long as your instructor's on board with it. So that's how you create a Google Doc. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab out, and it's going to go back to my Google Drive tab that was already open. One thing that's important to distinguish here is I have two files in my Art 101 folder that I'm looking at currently. This is a midterm paper, this is a sample document. Each of them have different icons, you'll notice here to the left. This is the standard document for a Google Doc, this blue page with the white lines. This is a standard icon for a Word doc, a Microsoft Word document, which is how I created this. If you remember, I actually uploaded this file from my computer, so it was a Word document that got uploaded. When you simply upload a Word document into Google Drive without converting it to a Google Doc, you can open it up. If I click on it, it gives me a preview, so I can read this if I want to as it is, but also brings up this hint little box thing here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. So just simply opening up or clicking on that Word doc gives me a preview of the document. But there's no editing this file. To edit a Word document, you need to have Word. And since Word doesn't work on the internet the same way Google Docs does, I can click on the Open button from here, and that actually opens it up in what looks more like an editable format. But still, there's no way to edit it. I can come up here and click on Comments and add a comment that pertains to the entire document and actually have a conversation with my instructor as far as that goes, but there's no commenting on a specific area of the text this way. So it's important to know that's the main difference between a Google Doc and actually just uploading a Word doc to Google Drive. Now there is a way for you to upload a Word document and convert it into a Google Doc during that upload process. You can make that setting change here in the settings button. If I click on that and you go to upload settings, and you can say convert uploaded files to Google Docs format. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now if I go back there, it will have a check mark next to it, so I know that this is active. I'll go ahead and click off of that to get rid of that menu. And if I go ahead and upload again, I'm going to upload a file, and I'm going to upload that same document and choose. And here my upload window comes up and it's done. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Now you can see I have this new sample document that I just uploaded. It's up above this sample document. The main difference between these two, just looking at them, the Word document is a .doc, which is the extension for a Word document. But Google Docs don't have that extension. They don't need it. And then also the little notification icon or the title icon has changed from the W for Word to the standard Google Doc icon. Now if I click on sample document, it does not bring a preview up, it just loads me right up into the document, and it's completely editable. I can take entire lines out, I can also make comments on specific areas, and also I can now share this file with others and give them editing privileges and collaborate with others on this particular file. The last thing I want to touch on in Google Drive is sharing. I'm going to go back to my Drive area so I can see the entire contents of my Drive. You notice there's an area here that says shared with me. If I click on that, this is going to be empty because nobody has shared anything with me yet. But if you use Google Drive quite a bit, it'll get to the point where this will be full of all sorts of stuff. And I'll give you an example of that. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my work account in my Google Drive. And you can see my Drive area. I try to keep it pretty concise and organized so I don't have to worry too much about locating things or trying to find stuff. I know where all the stuff is. But if I switch over to my shared with me area, all of a sudden it is something of a free-for-all. Right now I have it set to shared date, so it's organizing it as of the last thing that was shared with me is up on top. I can change it to title by clicking on title, and then suddenly it's alphabetized, and I have all my folders on top that have been shared with me. So the shared with me area is difficult to navigate. The trick to figuring out how to find something from someone specifically is simply using the search feature here. I can go ahead and type in a name, Brian Pearson, and enter. And then only the things that Brian has either shared with me or has been included in on will show up here, which still doesn't narrow it down a whole lot. I could say IT staff directory, and suddenly that's much more easy to navigate. Don't be afraid to use that search functionality. We're going to go back to My Drive. I'm going to show you how to share things. So there are different levels of sharing in Google Drive. You can share individual items. So if I go into my Art 101 folder, any of these items here that I want to share, I can share on an individual level. If I want to share all three of these items with an instructor or with someone in particular, it would make a lot more sense, instead of sharing all three of these, to instead just share my folder, my Art 101 folder instead. So if I want to share my art folder, I can do that a couple different ways. The way I'm going to show you is just by putting a check mark, and then there's a share button here. And then right now these are your share settings. So you have a link that you can give to people to access this particular folder. This is what you would click on an email to someone if you decided to share it with someone. If you haven't shared with that person, they even with this link, they won't be able to see it. And that's simply because we have it currently set to private. Only the people listed below have access. So only myself at this point has access to this file. This is the default setting, so you don't have to worry about creating something on Google Drive and having someone have access to it. So if you want to share this with someone, but you want to keep it private, just between you and that person, the easiest way to do that is just to enter names, email addresses, or groups in here. So I'm going to share this with my work Gmail account, and I'll go ahead and click on share and save when I do that. Now this will notify my EOU email account via email. I can also set this up so that I'm inviting this person here to see this document. Currently, by default, it's set to this person can edit the document. If you prefer to not allow them to edit it, you can change that to just view. So I'm going to go ahead and click on share and save. And now once I've done that, my other account shows up here. So this is the account that I just shared it with. This person can edit. I can still make changes there if I want to after I've added them. If I want to make this document public to everyone, I can actually click on change, and here are the different levels of access that I can grant. Right now it's private. I can send it to I can share this with anyone who has the link, or I can actually make this document public on the web. If you're just going to share this with an instructor or with your classmates, it's probably easier just to leave this to either private or anyone with the link, and then distribute that link as you need to. So I'm going to cancel that because I'm not going to make any changes. And I'm going to click done on this. And now you can tell this icon has changed a bit. For my Art 101, there's a pretty good indication here as well that it's shared because it actually says shared. But if you're just looking for the icon, it will have that little person on it, so you know that you've shared this. If you want to see those share settings, you can also, again, check mark it, click on the share button, and you'll be right back to where you were, where you actually set that up. So that's how that works. Interestingly enough, if we go ahead and access Art 101 now, you can see that each of these items also now says shared behind it. So this has been the sharing properties of the containing folder of all three of these items has been inherited by each of these items. If I decide that, oh wait, I don't want to share this one file with my instructor, I can go ahead and put a check mark in it, click on my share settings here for this document, and remove that person from it, save the changes, and everything else stays the same. Since I told Google Drive specifically that this one is not to be shared, it is now private again. If I want to delete this file altogether, I can just put a check mark here and hit the garbage can, and it's no longer there. So that's my basic Google Drive tutorial. I hope that it has been helpful. If you have any questions, please address them to helpdesk@eou.edu. You can also contact us at 541-962-3111. Thank you and have a good day.